Miss Singular Shad. Share the live no man. Me have to eat little food because gas take me up. Gas take me up. Me I eat a steamed fish wrap in at the ghetto. It's not bad, you know, but it needs a little bit more flavoring, but it can go on. Me I eat my good food, so me can't take my medication. Wow. Share the live now, man. Share the live, man.
Thank you, Jesus.
What I think went on Facebook yesterday night.
Whatever you face this week,
You know watch it?
forward still. Whatever mountains come in your way, forward still. Yeah. Whatever if you look at all, forward still.
Hey!
Forward still. Woo. And if you're gonna pass the fall, forward still.
See me hairstyle, one of a kind hairstyle.
We'll be with Pastor, but we are follow Jesus. Forward still. Young people, walk holy, make the right decisions, walk right.
Which group this?
Walk holy.
Who admin a UIC group? What is for me in the night, yeah? What is?
UIC if you lead the way. The new partisan. The new partisan God have ordained.
UIC admit to group. Who going to permission to admit to which group?
Yeah man, take the offer. I'm just, you know that it go. Although I'm supposed to meet with them already, like a week or two ago. I don't know how that went, so those of you who know, make a comment.
Night. What is this group
Them things I don't know.
about?
You don't know UIC?
Who added me to this group?
Yeah, man, a right group for him. With that group left lead, Mr. Andre Stevenson, sir. Mr. Andre Steven.
Lord Jesus, good night, Jamaica. How are you?
Great.
I must say,
Thanks to life.
let me just go clean up myself because I was having fish.
The favorite dish. Jamaica national dish. Fish.
Who is this person just add me to group and never tell me say? No, it's not so me work. I not so me work. Me no want to be part of no political group right now. Any bad political party want my brain space of a pay feet. What do you know?
Money run the thing.
I want to take me for free. My days are helping out political parties in this country over.
OBC radio.
Is who want to talk to me tonight?
Radio. That's broadcasting.
Nah, to compete. Yes, Jermaine, good evening.
Good evening, what's up?
I hear about to go put out some series of
Lisa Anna.
questions to the nation. Because it's one thing about me. One thing about me is that I try my very best to get the facts. And I am now being told that the check that I put out in the public domain, the check is bogus. Wow, sorry.
And when you said check, you want to elaborate?
Everybody knows about the infamous check, Jermaine. Tanya Bansi, that Mr. Lloyd Thomas, who is an investigating officer of the FLA. And tonight I want to discuss some facts about the Firearm Licensees Authority. Because a slew of events are happening in Jamaica, and we're about... We're not talking about wipe up my mouth. Just leave my mouth alone now. Focus on the message and leave the mouth alone. If you don't want to see my mouth, Jermaine, turn off the camera. Jesus Christ.
Talk to me, we're listening.
So there's been a slew of events that have started to break from... how many days have been on this now?
4.
About 3 days now. This is going to...
Yeah.
Yes, man. Remember, I carried the story Wednesday. But what is happening in Jamaica is yin and yang. Yin and yang. Good versus evil. Bad versus badara. Hey!
What's around?
No, bad versus badara.
Okay.
Bad who bad and who badara. You know, I said to my
I can see the badara, but who? Oh, well, I see where the bad comes.
Bad badara.
As in can't be recycled.
It can get back good. So there's some bangarang that me and you going to talk about for the next hour, Jermaine. That I am sorry for Jamaica. I'm sorry for the diaspora. And I want who can tag the US Embassy, tag them and tag some international human rights group, because what is happening in Jamaica? Who now sell the gun and put on them friend to lawyers' journey. You hear what I said to you?
Very clear.
Putting themselves, all right. So you know, the Jermaine, you have a criminal record, right? Example. Your criminal record no longer make you can get a political, you can get a gun in. Known criminals in Jamaica can get gun
Openly.
by just paying. It is alleged they can pay $3,000 US. That's 450 near 500,000 Jamaican dollars. Right? And
Yeah,
you just pay an investigating officer. You pay the lawyer pay back somebody at FLA.
So them corrupt.
You hear what I'm saying to you?
FLA on a corrupt.
The lawyer pay back somebody at the FLA. Let me turn this, because I want Jamaica to see it properly.
It's a connection chain.
Yes, man. It is all encrypted, cyclical, and cynical. Cyclical meaning it is a cycle. Cyclical meaning circular. All cyclical. And what you find is that when it goes to the review board that is headed by the security minister, it is alleged, Jermaine, that people just go to the review board. And then there is also some interesting news about the review board in Jamaica, Jermaine. The review board near 3 years has not been gazetted. So the review board has been operating in Jamaica illegally for the past from 2019 till now. Ha!
And there's no scrutiny, there's no...
Wait, do you hear what I just said to you?
For 3 years.
The review board, Jermaine, has not been gazetted for years now. So all whose gun has been reviewed, and they have gotten their guns, they have gotten it illegally. Yes, Jermaine.
So
Yeah, what I said to you.
This is a whole pandemic about bringing out awakening too.
Yeah, what I said to you. But I want to ask, how did Shane Darling get the work? You want to let me give you the conspiracy behind that?
We're listening.
Jermaine. In the year 2017, it's storytelling time now, right?
Well, it's talk truth time, because this is stories alive.
Talking truth time.
Yes.
The two men them were war now were very good friends, you know. You heard what I said to you? Shane Darling was a very good associate of Mr. Dennis, right? Who was the former chairman of the board. And Mr. Dennis Meadows. So the two Dennises and him were very good friends. They are labor rights. They are both labor rights. They both supported the quest for Andrew Holman to be kicked out of the JLP against Audley Shaw. So they are Audley Shaw supporters. Let me get my nature bar because we have to go nicks and knacks for a while. Hey! Jermaine, are you hearing what I'm saying to you?
Very loud and clear.
Sunny days, you're here. Hey! Good night, Natalie Stark. How are you? So the truth is, Jeremy, Shane Darling is a lawyer, and at the time in 2017, there was a vacancy for a new CEO of the FLA. And at the time, yes, Sonny, rebebebebebe. Jermaine, I want you to practice the rebebebe. Because every time you hear me talk the things, then I just want you to say rebebe. Yeah, man. Make
No,
Jamaica knows.
say.
Hey, Holy Ghost. Hey. Story going come to bump now. Truth going come to bump.
Dirty corrupt FLA on for dead.
Jermaine. Shane Darling went to license his firearm in 2017. And Dennis 1 and Dennis 2 saw him. And one of the send-up boys to Dennis said, but Mr. Dennis, see the right man, the man. See the right man, the man. That man, they are labor writing now, go sell we out. And I hear Dennis 1 say to Dennis 2, Jesus Christ, but that's an audition supporter. He's one of us. Hey! So, he was called to a meeting and asked to submit. Remember the time he was at Caymanas doing the divesting of the Caymanas through Supreme Ventures. You remember that?
Yes.
So he was asked if he would give up his job at Caymanas, and him said, if the salary is right. But you and I know it's not the salary that is right. It's actually the perks at the FLA. Nobody has gone to the FLA that has come out broken. Everybody come out to the FLA. You know, it's a Shane Darling get house.
Well, the master have mansions.
Yeah, that. So much corruption going on in Jamaica. Eh?
So let me ask you, what is the
FLA on a corrupt, you know?
Who is controlling the GIS?
Me soon get to that, Jeremy. Let me finish. The truth platform, right? Because you tell me to tell the truth.
Be a corruption. Be a corruption.
Now, when he got the work, I am being told Jermaine, that he was hired by Bobby Montague to dig up some dirt on Peter Bunting. You heard what I said?
Repeat.
Hey!
See.
That is the new anthem.
This I don't even know laughing matter. I don't even laugh. I never
Forward
laugh.
still.
Is the slogan.
Serious thing, man. I never laugh.
Hey, sip some tea, Jermaine, because it is some hot tea dashing out tonight. And big up to all our people in England, right, Jermaine? They know they're going through a storm right now.
Oh, yes, crazy. England, who would have thought? The wind blowing people away.
So big up to all of the partners who are resistance movement. Wayne, big up yourself and keep safe, because what is happening right now? Anyways, let's just get back. So big up all of the people in England who is keeping safe, right, Jermaine?
Commercial break. You know what?
Commercial break.
See.
Wait them, man. Let me go play back the rest of this song.
Forward still, anthem, short commercial break.
A very short one because...
It's the partner draw movement.
Who is that? Ah! Hold a second, this. Hold a second.
Oh yes, and that's what I'm here for support you. I'm a part of the movement. That's our anthem. Share the life, people. And shout out to all the students that here. I see you all. They're too far. When charms surprise you strong they say, those billows break. The Lord looked down his mighty hand and rolled the sea away. When forward still is Jehovah's will, though the billows dash and spray, with a conquering tread we will push ahead and roll the sea away.
Yes,
General
sir.
can sing. Be a talented singer.
Back
They
to the
are
meat
still
that matter, the truth.
So,
This is where you get it live and direct. The partner.
so Jermaine, we're told that one of the reasons why Bobby Montague went for Shane Daddy, he was one of part of his job description was, can you dig up all the dirt on all of the comrades at the FLA? You heard what I said?
So they wanted ammunitions.
Serious ammunitions against Peter Bunting, because you know he was a former minister.
Peter, yes, Peter. Me not like him because him fight
Peter
cartel.
Bunting
Him fight cartel, a dirty boy. They Bunting.
had an informant who he carried from Manchester to the FLA, who is a pastor
Corrupt. The whole
from
of
the
them
Adventist
corrupt,
Church.
you know. And see them fight the good youth cartel where make how much youth success.
Dermian, you not have no incense or something, cause when you go talk the things them,
Say yes,
run
them
some incense
corrupt
and
boy.
light
Them.
a candle, sing a song.
Yeah, man.
Isn't that the
Dirty
very
politician
same
and
pastor
uno people will
that
love
went
vote,
and
vote.
told
No fit, yo.
the big man
No
a
sick
man devil
drunk
that
stomach.
Bunting style him and say he's a washed up down, cost him his seat. Really
We
kid him.
soon get to that.
All of them bumbleclid. Love how Andrea
My
exposed
leader
them.
say incense.
Yes.
And we say sage.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Me have my sage too, you know. Burn little sage and burn out the bad lamp them. The generation of vipers.
Yeah, burn,
Yes, Jermaine.
paralyze,
The sage a
trample.
catch a fire enough tonight.
Yeah, and see fire ya come.
Rebebe!
Look at them both see.
Fire lord.
Yes, Jermaine.
So the informant.
Yeah, but a
The
pastor
informant
from Mandeville. Mandeville have some weird
who
people,
came
you know.
in the form of Pastor Harvey.
Swear some weird people down the dog.
It is said that Pastor Harvey
Down
Jermaine,
the wholeness come from.
came to the FLA very poor enough. Very poor, Jermaine.
Yes. With a little shabby house a country.
But Peter Bunting, it is said, that did not do his investigations. So the person who spoke, that I'm told Peter Bunting about all that was happening at the FLA. But here this a party now.
But
Pastor Harvey never tell Bunting say look like him did I get curry favors.
okay.
Yeah, you want me to say? Michael Harvey, it is alleged, is involved in all of the corruption and the money swingling and dingling. Down at the FLA, Pastor Harvey is an Adventist pastor from Mandeville. Don't burn the stage because the people need to listen to the message.
That's time I put it down. Go ahead.
So what happened now, Jermaine? Pastor Harvey was the informant, I'm being told, of Bunting. But Bunting never knew that this pastor, it is alleged, involved in a skullduggery.
And what's this skullduggery for those who understand?
All who for gun licenses revoke. And all who want gun licenses. Hey! It is also alleged that the big house where Mike Pastor Harvey need to finish down a Mandeville.
Share the live, people. Share the live. Students.
Today, what you know about one side? You go easy yourself and go sit down about one side.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Continue the message. Distraction. We're not
the distracting elements. You know, go on one
still.
side, man. Forward still. So it is said that Pastor Harvey, you see, because it is said that he never get no much curry favors from Bunting. He really go down a FLA innocent. He go down a FLA innocent. And what happened to him?
Stay on the road. Liam.
What happened to him? What happened to him, Jeremy? You know them say why the winds baby rough and the rocks. Where it go again? No matter what the storm clouds of corruption lick past the Harvey and me yes him get a pay cut at the Adventist institution, the Adventist church. So if them not say when something they come up puppet gamus, when something they go up, when all this something they go when push
God take charge.
no that one then when they would have say like them would have say you rub butter puss mouth. So Pastor Harvey get the butter then. Plenty butter. Me hear say Pastor Harvey a build a mansion. You remember you say my father is a millionaire. Me hear say the mansion look like a gold. And me hear say him and the pastor.
Pandemic money. Continue.
But I don't know how it go journey. So
Share the live, students.
Lord, they know why me chat.
Bombo Claude, my tries silence him.
Nestor Morgan can't talk about he standing with Darling, because when him go down, goaling, Olis a go down, goaling a go down, all of them a go down. Them can't stand with who them a stand with. Because Nestor Morgan need to go give the woman down a Clarendon the help what she need, and so she can stop burn out him shut and burn out him face. Get back to a message now, my friend.
Forward still.
Anyhow, As we're
Hashtag
saying,
forward still. Hashtag forward still, people. Let us see it. Hashtag forward still. Drink my leader.
so what I'm saying to you, they don't know that we have the evidences that when Pastor Harvey started to collect the funds, a particular person drive him around. When them collecting the 150,000 and the 250,000, the lawyer fees and the review board fees. It's a big scheme that was running down there. Yeah.
A network scheme.
It is a Ponzi scheme.
Pyramid.
Yes.
Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
Nasty Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. Some big man them.
And what happened to them now, Jermaine?
What is in the dark?
When I am not going to name the driver Sonny because you cannot make the whistleblower be known.
Oh, that's Sonny. Big up yourself. You see you, Sonny. Big up all the visionaries. Let me see all the visionaries hashtagging forward still. One word. Hashtag forward still. Don't space it out. One word.
So now, Pastor Harvey, so Peter Bunting raised in the parliament and asked some questions and he was shut down. Because they know them say when you live in a glass house, you're not supposed to throw stones. So when he realized that he was going to be shut down, Peter Bunting no longer have any evidences because Pastor Harvey stopped talking.
So everybody start talk.
So everybody shut up and gone back to Ponzi scheme. But here now, all the labor rights them get out in a this accord. The man them will get Shane Darling the work is said to be said. That Shane Darling say he want pre-approval for approve gun license. As CEO, he wants the pre-approval for say who forget gun and who not forget gun. And I am told that Mr. Meadows stay in the meeting. Are you mad?
I saw them love power, you know.
It takes 3 out of 5 to approve the gun licenses. You're mad shit. And I hear said Dennis right.
But all them 5 they are corruption.
Dennis now say call him to the board meeting and them call him and make ear so them mats him up and wraps him up about it. And little after that, Jermaine, the board had to resign because a piece of document was leaked to the media. Hey! I don't know what happened. It's also alleged that this piece of document was found in the drawer of Mr. Shane Darling. So Shane undermined the entire farmer board, and the entire board was sent packing by Bobby Montague. You remember some in a 2017 time there when the board had to resign? You never know Sashi and them said do it.
Okay. So now what the smoke was about. The fire behind the smoke.
And I'm going to say to you, Jermaine, didn't you know? It's weeks now me talking Sonny and no mainstream media call me. Today I got calls from about 6 of them. You hear what I said to you, Jermaine? About 6 of them called saying that they want to have a conversation. I said to them, tell me if I'm unfair. So I said to them, A weeks me a call no out and not one no come at me disposal, but I true me are the first one for bust the check in a Jamaica. Partner Draw TV! OBC TV do that.
Tell them now. It's and speaking of mainstream media, Mr. Leader. Have you heard about any member of parliament that's involved in the, it's alleged that member of parliaments are involved in the big drug bust. Why mainstream media isn't covering it?
You mean the one in East Rural St. Andrew?
The one in East Rural St. Andrew and mainstream. That's a huge, one of the Jamaica biggest drug busts, but yet still it's not on mainstream media. It's alleged that member of parliaments are involved in that drugs.
Jermaine, I am gathering the intel. It was brought to my attention today. Between now and the next 24 hours, I will get the truth as to who is behind that drug bust. I hear say police involved, politician involved, Dan involved.
Big people involved, and that's why mainstream media is covering it up.
I get invited to come to some meetings of late, Jermaine, and I said to them, sorry, not interested. I think them can kill me like how they kill Kevin Smith and say accident. I what do them, man? Hey, I want them say, back up! Oh no!
You hear that?
Be careful of the security team. Know the security team.
We know say them
Not
kill
any
the
of the
pastor.
security teams.
Jermaine,
Jamaica corrupt, you know. The police, them are some dark shit.
Nash,
Blood
fashionable.
clad prime minister come.
I think
all
I
of
can
them in
block
a
you now.
politics. Dark shit. Drunker shit.
Anyhow,
But clad.
Don't pay the comments in the mind, leader.
we want to focus on what is happening now. So,
Clad.
Shane got the men fired, I am told, because he wanted to become.
L.A. Lewis in the
Kill
building.
the pastor.
Save.
He wanted
Make
to
it
become
look like
the voice
we never say them kill him
of
still.
reasoning
But enough
to Bobby
people
Montague.
fool as fuck. Enough people
So the
can't
man
see
them will get him the work, him get them fire so him can get higher up in the ladder. What a piece of deception.
I say it always go. See my friend them you look
Jeremy,
out for them one killer.
this is serious,
So I'm stop help people, you know.
serious works of undermining, you know, and skullduggery, you know.
Not
And
even
Imagine,
corruption
and corruption.
highest level.
Imagine, Jeremy, I got you a work. And you turn around and go tell Sonny, who is my boss, everything about me. So that Sonny can fire me. So that you can become Sonny's mouthpiece.
rascal if I ever tell him.
777! Back up!
If I ever tell him about Freddy and kill this
So
thing.
what you're saying is that it is alleged. And I want everybody to make that become their favorite phrase. It is alleged.
But say them are your friend when them are enemy.
Dr.
Enough
Love,
of them are
join us on the live now. LA Lewis, join us on the live now. Make we mash up Jamaica tonight.
If only how them can
Andre,
pretend they see Batty boy Freddy just a
where Jamaica, I heard you said
Kid now go see.
in the
Kid now go
group
see. Him now go see
where
pop do.
Jamaica, if we don't be careful, Jamaica is heading in a state of Haiti.
That's not my utterance. That's the utterances of the President of the United States, Mr. Joe Biden, in his recent conversations with the Caribbean. He said to our Prime Minister that we need to be careful that we're heading down the trajectory to become
The next 80.
The next Haiti. That
Red,
is
red
serious.
flag.
Serious indictment on our
So
nation.
don't think the US government
It's not
not
watching.
listening. See. Forward still is Jehovah's will. Where the billows dash and spray, with a conquering tread, we shall push ahead.
I want to tell
Until
Jamaica though.
the sea away.
I want to tell Jamaica, you see, when you not plan and dig hole, dig two. Did you know that Shane Darling, this was never the.
Dr.
This way not Jeremy. Between me and you, Sonny. Did you know that this was not the plot? Here was why the press conference was called. Pharaoh has a personal vendetta against Chief Curry. You recognize that? Chief Curry was singled out at the press conference to have an illegal firearm.
But
the press conference was focused on the reality that they wanted to highlight Chief Curry and Jacure. And say, oh, over 200 gun licenses. From my investigation, nothing no go so. And that's why I've asked Shane Darling to publish the list. And the list can't publish all now. First of all, if I'm coming to a press conference like that, to say that over 200 felons and criminals have guns, I would have had the list prepared. So that if you ask me, I'm going to say, here's the list and here are the names, scrutinize the names, and then we can talk about it.
Especially with what's going on right now. Clear my name.
Clear my name, no sir. But they had a plan to let Chief Curry look bad, and that's coming from the highest order in the country because of what is happening between Maroon and the government. But when you live in a glass house, don't throw a stone, and when you not dig hole, dig two.
Yes.
So the two that was dig, one was dig for Chief Curry, and it actually turned around dig for Dennis Meadows. Because she and have beef against Dennis Meadows long time. Big beef. So the script was focus on Curry, and she had turned around the script because of the social media attack between him and Dennis Meadows. And take on, you know, Sister Curry and Jackie get caught out of the story. And it's all about Dennis versus Daddy.
Right.
Meadows versus Daddy.
Corruption.
Different topic.
That's why I tell them all the time, you see, people who are native people, Anne-Marie, I am glad I am a madman. At least one thing I know, Anne-Marie.
Don't focus on the comments.
No, I want to address them. I'm just addressing them.
We have 202 persons here. Don't highlight one person. Continue. Forward still.
So now we have a situation where whereby
move them. Focus, man. Stay focused. Stay on track. Not the real. Don't
we have a situation whereby Shane Darling had a script, but he fall off script because of his vendetta with Dennis Meadows. I am now being told that Andrew wants to fire Shane. The security minister wants Shane to go. And I am told it's a man from Portland saving Shane.
But if they have to go they got to just move Shane and put him somewhere else because Shane know too much to let him go. That's what's been going on, refuffle.
But I'm going to say to you, say, I have gathered enough intel that Dennis Meadows and Hugh Wildman is going to carry a major case against the government of Jamaica. A class action. And if that class action is carried, and these are two labor rights, followers of the Labour Party, it's my PMP kind of Labour Party.
People them tired.
Tired! People them tired, Jeremy. A lot of men were promised big jobs and big appointments, and since this Prime Minister has come, he has ignored them, ignored their calls. And people must remember the power of the vote. It's 20% appointing the last time. 20%. The leader of the opposition is so unfavorable that he is favored just by 17%.
And
right?
the leader of the government is even unfavorable.
And the leader of the government has moved down by 33% to only have favorability of 48%.
And the UIC party have stepped up the momentum.
Hi, greetings. I'm doing a live now. When I get the chance, I'll call you. I haven't forgotten that I need to speak to you, okay?
Okay, all right.
That's a young man who, Jermaine, mental health is real enough. Many times I really want to go to my bed, but if I don't speak to these young people and give them some level of securities and hope, I don't want them to kill themselves like the Miss America.
Universe.
A lot of people are suffering from mental health struggles. A lot. And I am not going to sit comfortably and see what is happening in our country and get preoccupied with the naysayers and the commoners who don't understand that the country is on the brink of a fall.
Yeah. Everything is sold out.
According to the corruption index, we have moved up near 70 in the corruption index for the global corruption index. That's not good.
Global.
That is not good. If you can have a president of the United States saying to Jamaica, be careful. You know, Jermaine, why every time the Jamaica Labour Party is in power, we don't have a permanent US ambassador? Have you ever asked that?
And it's so funny because the Jamaica Labour Party is supposed to be close with the US government. But no longer the case
But
because
they can't.
they're in close ally with the Chinese government.
Thank you.
Jamaica has
Jermaine,
become very close ally with the Chinese government, which becomes a conflict of interest for the United States.
but they now want to ask you, where are the soldiers, the military training? I'm told they're not being trained in China. Jermaine, if they're training in China, that is serious indictment
I wonder if
on our geopolitics.
those weaponry that Andrew brought in, where they came from, China also?
I'd have to ask the Chief of Defense Staff, Major Anthony Wiscombe Gomez. It is some serious.
That would be crazy. The Chinese have the road, the port, and they're giving us weaponry.
So, from the last election, and Tapia was sent back, the US government under Joe Biden has not named a permanent ambassador to Jamaica. We have a charge of their affairs. And what's the purpose of a charge of their affairs? They only govern on political matters, nothing else. They don't train. There's a special operation that is sent to China that trains in China and Asia. And when I know What I know, what is happening in Jamaica. If the soldiers are, see there, so who don't know that the chief of staff is a woman?
Leave the comments, Andre. Leave the comments.
But everybody know that it's Antoinette Wiscombe. She was sworn in like 2-3 weeks ago.
No pay the comments on the mind. The comments them go and run. The comments
But
bring
I'm
people
going.
over.
All right, Jermaine.
Forward still.
I am saying to you, what is the Chinese interest in Jamaica?
Land taking over. Control. Remember, they are populated, overpopulated where they are. So they go everywhere around and build a place. And they go and they promise all these and they invest a lot. They invest all these money. They invest in the road. And Jamaica don't have the money to pay them back. So what they said, okay, give me this, give me the control of the port. And they take control of the port, but it's not enough. No, I want the cockpit mountain. Okay,
The
let me give
cockpit country.
the cockpit country. So let me give it the cockpit country. And then before you know it, Mandarin is gonna be start teaching in Jamaica. The Chinese.
And they're going to be doing interbreeding with the women and the Chinese men. Right?
This is really crazy. Jamaica need to wake up and see what's really going on. What it is you have cast your vote for.
So I'm going to say to you, Jermaine, the reality of what is happening in the FLA, the reality of what is happening in the FLA is Friend and Company has become sour.
Associate, not Friend and Company.
No, they were Friend and Company, Lodge Brothers. So what is happening in Jamaica? I foresee very soon there shall be some marches in March. At least 500,000 people will be marching against the government, the opposition, and the structure of governance in this country. And when we take that road,
and Jamaican people, they all must come out. Walk out. Lockdown, every lockdown going across the road. The mainstream media not highlighting it. But lockdown has been lifted worldwide. People marching out. Thousands of truck drivers, trailer truck drivers blocking roads across the world. Millions of people coming out. Lifted. Mandate has been lifted. Don't let Andrew trick you all. Walk out.
Jermaine,
Too much is too much.
some serious days are happening and it will become worse. Or you would have said Wasara. Wasara. Or Wasara. And I want you to know, this veranda conversation that we're having right now on Instagram is a conversation that is happening all across Jamaica. Everywhere I go, I want my partner draw. If I go in the hospitals, if I go in the schools, if I go downtown, if I go uptown, if I go in the barber shop, if I go amongst the prostitutes, I want my partner draw. Jamaica is in a serious state of crisis. Jamaica.
And how can we get out of this? How as a people, we have 200 people here listening. How can you, what can you say and advise on how we can get out of this moving forward?
We need inclusive leadership, Jermaine. Inclusive leadership whereby if you have a strength in an area, that area, say Jermaine, you are a cultural expert, right? But you're a businessman. You have always said to us, we must see the business out of everything that we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Babsy Grange might be a very good cultural icon, but is she the best pick right now for monetizing culture? And I believe that something like culture must be added to economic growth and job creation, because culture is a pillar of Jamaica's economy, the creative economy, the orange economy. But yet still, our cultural identity is not given credence, respect, and honor. And because of such, a lot of our creative industries are stifled. But if we had inclusive leadership, where we had, say, for instance, a footer hype, what is this saying remaining? I need to end the line.
How many minutes you got?
19 seconds.
Okay, when it ends, just click back again. When it ends, just go right back. Just click right back live. It come right back. You don't have to just click right back. It come back. People live gone on a countdown. Stay tuned. It's coming right back.